slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm litty. I know that you're...
Hey, everybody, it's the coach. This is the NFL 100 Game of the Week on EA Sports. On tap, we've got what should be a fairly intriguing matchup between the San Francisco 49ers and the Baltimore Ravens. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, the rain is falling, the fans are soaked, but here's the bottom line. We've got football at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the San Francisco 49ers and the Baltimore Ravens. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you look at this Raven team as they get ready here. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
On the other side of the field for the visiting 49ers, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. This fielded at the 2. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. As we take a peek at Sam Darnold, the former USC Trojan and third pick in the 2018 draft.
And the numbers were not pretty. I mean, they don't look right. When you throw 2 interceptions, no touchdown passes, there's no way to really make that work. But I thought there were a lot of positives in watching his game tape. I think he's close to putting out a good performance. Let's see if he can flip those numbers around in this game. And, of course, rally his team to a win.
They'll throw out wide, complete to Sanders. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance. The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
And shedding his way forward. He'll get 17 on that one, and the Niners have a first down.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to the end zone real fast.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Off of play action, Darnold. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
Faking the give, Darnold. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
But one thing's for sure, when you get a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. So here are the Ravens now under 12th-year coach John Harbaugh. They're led onto the field by the former 3rd-round pick back in 2012, and that's the quarterback Nick Foles.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some. They threw it accurately. 1 touchdown pass. So he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the 27, Foles finding Sterling Shepard for his first catch. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. Boy, he ran free there after the catch as that winds up going for 38. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Foles. Caught by Montgomery. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
13.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Foles. This is Shepard on the catch. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this. And, hey, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
Offer mine.
You were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space. Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
On 2nd and goal, Foles. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Lance Kendricks with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Ravens have taken the lead. A diving catch for the score. He laid out. That was special.
And the first thing they're going to check, right? Did he complete the process of the catch? All the way through, all the way to the ground. Ball doesn't hit the ground without control in his hands. All of that, yes. Check the box, touchdown.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. This is taken at his 4. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Out on the field now, here come the 49ers. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. A look at the numbers for Geis a week ago. 15 carries, 62 yards, and a touchdown.
Well, watching the film, we saw that things clicked pretty well for them in the running game last week. No reason to change in my mind. Continue to try and run the football, give it to them early and often in hopes of breaking down the defense so some bigger gains result as the game goes on.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. Got a man, it's Ross, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. They'll run with Geis. Broke through some contacts, but unable to reach the 40.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size and these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. On now is Mason Crosby, who's hit from as far as 58 in his career. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. That's on target, but it's no good. He had it on line, but it came up just shy of the crossbar. And this score will stay right where it is. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Well, he gets everything he could into this one. The trajectory's good. It's definitely online. They just need a little more oomph behind it. And it'll wind up falling just shy of the crossbar.
And he's got this one across midfield into 49er territory. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Now it's Carson. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
I enjoyed watching Robert Quinn in pregame warm-ups with you down on the field. Did it surprise you how tall and angular he is? You wouldn't think he'd be able to play against the run that well, would you?
But he can, and he showed it right there, didn't he?
That's that wrestling background he has. He understands leverage as well as anyone in the game. A big-time wrestler in high school. He didn't lose very often.
3-time heavyweight state champ in South Carolina. Got a man. It's his tight end, Lance Kendricks. A gain of 22. That tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. To throw again on second down. Foles. That's caught by Montgomery. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
On 3rd down, it's Carson, and he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Now Foles, and this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Devin Funchess, his 2nd touchdown on the season as the Ravens push further out in front. And down near the goal line here, they're able to throw it in.
And the key word, quick. Quick hitter. Out of his hands fast, into the receiver's hands even faster.
Elliott good on the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to 11. So that drives 7 plays in length, and it's capped off by the Baltimore score. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
But one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
Geis with a carry on second down. And an Allen to run. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. That one a first down pickup of 8.
Any team that runs the toss and runs it successfully, that means they win the battle on the edges. That means you seal the edge in order to let your back get to the corner. They got it done there for a very nice game.
On first down, this is Geis. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Let's go, reset.
On the ground, it's Geis. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Got a man. He finds Sanders. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 34-yard line. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Well, that's complete to Sanders. 23 yards on the play. '49ers with their first trip to the red zone thus far. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 11. Darnold from the gun. Open man is Ross, complete. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. Well, they've been practicing goal line offense all week. Let's see if they're able to capitalize here. Again, Darnold. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. Julio Jones. His 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. Extra point up and good by Crosby, and that makes it a 14-10 ball game. The lead cut to just 4 as they kick it away and turn things over to their D. This is taken at his 4. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach.
And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Michael Kendricks coming in to drop him.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
To try again after the sack. Foles. And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there. And the 49ers now going to... use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
Here we go. 180. Check 56. Here we go. 56 to Mike.
Here's Foles. Buying time to his left. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up fourth.
These two offenses have gone up and down the field so far in the first half. Finally, I say, here's a stop on third down.
So it looks like the offense isn't going anywhere. They're going to go for it on 4th and 7.
12.
They'll try and throw for it here. And he finds Stills, complete. 12 yards the pick up there, good for a Raven first. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. It's caught by Funchess. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. The Ravens get a new set of downs, give him 17 on that pickup. They're going to look to throw. It's hauled in by Shepard. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. 2nd and 1. And Stills bringing it in. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Check, 59. It's been a long day for you.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Foles. And a big loss here as he's taken down. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter.
Great. Mike's 56. Let's go, tight end. Let's go right here now. Mike 56. Mike 56. He's tired of me. Hey, zoom. 56 to Mike, boys. 56. Check 56. Hey, watch the slant.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. Here's Jake Elliott. Career long, by the way, for him, 61 yards. This was the old NFL record distance for decades, a 63-yard attempt. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it. You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half.
Here we go.
Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. He was looking for the tight end, Lance Kendricks, there. And now it's 2nd down. 2nd and 10. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. A gain there of 21 yards.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
They'll run on first down. Carson. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
We want it. Come to my world.
Back to the ground, this time Montgomery. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now Lewis here on first down. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone.
Don't get nervous.
They'll stay with Lewis here on first down. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. Moving backwards on first down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on second down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
He's able to rattle off 6 on the carry, and that'll get him to 3rd and 4.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. And he gets it to Funchess complete. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. That good for 6 as they keep this drive right on rolling.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry? Ball gets tipped in the air, because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
They'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Ty Montgomery. His 6th touchdown of the season as the Ravens push further out in front. Well, with that touchdown pass, I'm going to bring up a point from earlier in the year. Some of the fans were saying, when do we turn to the rookie? Well, he's looking pretty good right now.
Yeah, I love the fact that the fans are bringing that up because I'm not the head coach, okay? So he's got to deal with it. But I think it's a legitimate question. With the way their season is going, I think now is the time to turn the page and let him get some starts before this season is over.
Elliott good with a PAT, and that makes it a 21-10 game. This is taken at his 4. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line. Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away. from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now Sims. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Now a run with Geis. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That 2nd down play nets a -4. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. The shotgun snap for Darnold. And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. And he's going to be taken down at the 39, clearly short of the first by a few yards. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job here of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Nick Foles gearing up again here to go on offense. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the 3rd quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your coach? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win?
Well, that's what he's done here in this one so far. An ideal spot here to get a 1st down and try to run some more clock. And this is 2nd and less than a yard. This is Carson. 7 yards there and a 1st down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. 8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Here's Carson. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 9 yards the pickup there, and it's a 1st down. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
They run it with Carson. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Waiting. 13. Here we go.
On 2nd and 12, Foles. That's complete to his tight end. This is Lance Kendricks. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards. Defensively, they're okay with that. Short little route, tackle him inbounds. Okay.
All right, cliche alert. It's time for someone to make a play because they've got to have something bigger downfield. They can't just take what they give them. They've got to force it and make something big happen for them.
They go play action here on 1st down. Flushed out right. This will be caught inside the 10. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. 11 more on that one and another 1st down. The 3 red zone trips, 3 touchdowns so far. They'll look for a 4th on 2nd and goal. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he maneuvers his way down to the 3-yard line. He'll get 6 on the ground there, and it'll be 2nd and goal coming up. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down.
Yes.
Foles feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. Credit the sack to the safety, Rashad Jones.
When you're this close to the goal line, you got to expect pressure from the defense, so the ball's got to come out fast. Got to get out of his hands quicker.
Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? They'll run it now out of the gun. Call it no gain on the play, so no help there. And now 4th and goal. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Now Darnold. Open man here, Sims complete. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. Darnold trying to hustle everybody along with the clock moving. A dump off to Sims. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up near the 42. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape, he's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Shotgun handoff for Lewis. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. And now the Niners going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. That one looks like he'll throw here. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Lance Kendricks, his 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Ravens turn that interception into a touchdown. They had the lead in the 4th, but still passing. Find it. The big target for the touchdown. Now that lead grows even more.
Everybody gets to join in the fun. You know, it doesn't have to just be the wide receivers catching touchdown passes. The tight end doesn't just have to do just the dirty work inside. He gets a chance to get into the end zone as well.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Back to throw, Darnold.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work, and that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a first down.
To throw again on second down. Darnold got a man open. It's Ross. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. One last throw now for Darnold. He gets it to Sims, complete. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for Baltimore, the win moves them a couple games over 500 now at 7-5. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Buffalo Bills. Meanwhile, for the 49ers, the playoffs look to be out of reach now as they drop to 4-8. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in New Orleans against the Saints. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew,